Going to get going. My name is Eli Washington. I am a certification officer with Cook County government uh, in the Department of Contract Compliance. Our president is President Tony Preckwinkle. My director is Nicole Manivel, and my deputy director is Desiree Atkins. I have the pleasure, I see, of one of my coworkers, Gwendolyn James is joining me as well. We won't be long. But we will get the information out to you as best to my ability. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. The Office of Contract Compliance, and I'm not reading this verbatim. The Office of Contract Compliance, what we do is we advocate for minority, women, veterans, and people with disabilities on county contracts, and we certify them. Okay? We advocate for minorities, women, veterans, and people with disabilities on county contracts. We are not the city of Chicago, so we do county-related work. We own a hospital. We own a jail, unfortunately. We own several properties. So we always say, if you name it, we buy it. Oh, and I failed to thank our host, Chicago Food Policy Action Council, for inviting us this morning. Now, in order to be considered a minority, women, veteran, person with disabilities, service-disabled veteran, you have to be 51% owned and operated by one of those individuals, a minority, women, veteran, or person with disabilities. Okay? Well, we certify people, and you have to reside in the following counties: Cook, Kane, DuPage, McHenry, Will, and Lake counties. Again, you have to be 51% owned and operated, and your business has to be located within that area as well. One of the things we do, we do a very thorough investigation. I've been with the county for over 20 plus years, and I can honestly say in those 20 plus years, we've only certified less than 5 fronts to my knowledge. Now, we are very thorough, we're very diligent, we are very committed to this program. What we have to make sure we honor and make sure the integrity of this program is the foremost of everybody's mind. Like I said before, less than 5 companies we have certified was considered fronts. And they were removed from the program, and there were some very hefty penalties considered imposed upon them. Now, in order to be considered a minority, woman, veteran, or a person with disabilities, you have to be, again, 51% owned and operated. That means the minority is in charge of it. The minority is has the expertise, and also the location has to be in the 6-county marketplace. When we say, let's just talk about expertise, you have to have the knowledge of what you're trying to be certified in. You have to prove to us that you can do what you say you can do. If you are in the construction industry, say you are a Seaman Mason, we want to know that you have some training and expertise in that area. If you are in the engineering space, we want to know that you have some training and some expertise in that space. Especially if you're an engineer, we are going to ask you for your professional license that's issued by the state of Illinois. We want to make sure that you are in control and you have the control of the business at all times. You can have partners, but again, the minority, women, or veteran has to be the one in control. One of the things we're going to ask for several items, actually. We're going to ask to make sure that you're financially in control. We're going to make sure that you are the one that signs the checks or has the financial authority. So we're going to be looking for banking information. We want to know who are the bank's signees on that account. Let me tell you now, if a non-minority male has unlimited check writing authority or financial authority in that account, 9 out of 10, we will not certify you. Again, the firm has to be controlled by one of the groups that we talked about earlier, a minority, woman, veteran, or person with disability. They have to be the one that in control. There has to be limitations on the non-minority male. And the non-minority male cannot have all the expertise, and you're not totally dependent upon him. The business foundation. One of the things that we certify sole proprietorships, we certify LLCs, we certify corporations. If you are a LLC, we are going to be looking for your operating agreement. Operating agreement is very important, very critical. That tells us how the business is ran. Who runs it, who has control, and you as the minority woman or veteran should be the managing member of that corporation. Same way for a S corporation or just a corporation. One of the things we're going to be looking for is that you own and control that business, that you have the majority of stock is in that business. A lot of people say, well, I'm the only person, so I don't need a stock certificate. Yes, you do. By law, if you are considered a corporation, you should have a stock certificate. And we're going to be looking for those stock certificates. And we're going to be looking for who are the majority owners in those stock certificates. If you are S corporation, we love S corporations, I tell you. Let me tell you why we love S corporations. Because the S corporation tells us exactly who owns what. Who is the majority owner, who are the minority owners. If there's a trust, we need, and we're going to look at all that information. Now, we're not trying to be nosy. We're not trying to get in your personal affairs, but we have to maintain the integrity of this program. And again, we've had only a handful of fronts come through our office. So we're always going to be looking for things to make sure that we're doing the right thing that you say you can do. We're also going to be, as far as a sole proprietorship, if you are in Cook County, you need to go to the clerk's office and make sure you get a assumed name certificate. A assumed name certificate. If you're outside of Cook County, one of those other marketplaces, Kane, DuPage, McHenry, go to your county clerk, make sure you get a assumed name certificate because we need to know that information. One of the things we're going to be asking for all the individuals who are trying to be certified, we're going to ask for 7 years of your personal tax returns. 7 years, your federal tax returns, not your state, your federal tax returns. And let me tell you what we're looking for. We're looking for conflicts of interest. Okay? If there is something that we see that might raise a red flag, we're gonna question you about that. That there might be some ownership and a company that may be non-minority. We're gonna question you regarding that situation. If you are a corporation or LLC, if you are a corporation, we will be asking for 7 years of your corporate taxes. You might say, well, Mr. Washington, we've only been in business 3 years. That's fine. We're going to want however long you've been in business, we're going to need those tax returns. If it's less than 7, give us what you have. And yes, we do certify startups. But I'm going to talk about that in a second. One of the other things we're going to need is an updated resume, a chronological resume. And please, 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 please put on your resume exactly your title and your responsibilities with the applicant firm. If you are the president, please list on your resume exactly what your duties are and your time limit. If you have other jobs that you're currently working, please put that down there. That helps us to look at your experience in the area of subject that you're trying to be certified in. We're also going to be looking for if it's a subject matter that requires licenses or certifications, we're going to be looking for that too, copies of that. But again, please, on your resume, make sure you put down the name of your title with the company and your day-to-day responsibility. Okay. Proof of contribution. We need to know that you are the majority owner, that you are that you started a company with mostly your personal savings and or you went to a bank and got a bank loan. What that is, that goes back to control of the business. Uh, we frown upon getting loans, especially from non-minority entities. When I say entities or individuals, giving the company money to start the company. That's very much frowned upon in our industry. So we want the money that you started the business with mainly came from either your personal savings and or a bank. Because again, we want to make sure that you are in total control of that business, that someone else isn't, as people might say, pulling the purse strings, telling you what to do and how to run your business. It is important that the minority, women, veteran, personal disabilities in total control of that business. And financial control is a major part of it. We're also going to be looking for contracts or invoices. That tells us you can do what you say you can do. Uh, if you have contracts, we're going to be looking for the expertise in that because that tells us, again, you can do what you say you can do, that you have the experience, you have the knowledge, and you have the expertise. And yes, we will go and contact some of those invoices or contracts from time to time to verify the information that you have submitted to us. I had a company actually last week that sent me some information that just was not truthful, saying that they were doing business with a particular company, and when I verified the information, come to find out they were not. And we will be dealing with that company appropriately, should I say. So again, we're going to be looking for contracts or invoices that say you can do what you say you can do. You might say, well, Mr. Washington, I don't have any contracts or invoices yet. I'm a startup. That's fine. Again, what we're going to be looking for more than anything is now we're going to be looking at your resume. So we do certify startups, but we really would like you to have some type of professional experience in that subject area, that you've done business in that area. Okay, that's what you're proving to us. Let's see. Personal net worth. If your personal net worth is more than $2.7 million, that's $2.7 million. Congratulations, but you're not eligible for this program. You are going to do something called a personal net worth statement. And it's very simple. It's not as complicated as people like to think they are. You're going to say what you own versus what you owe, and that comes out to your personal net worth statement. But again, if your personal net worth statement is more than $2.7 million, you are not eligible for our program. Okay. One of the things that you need to know, if you're certified with Cook County, your certification is welcome practically at any government agency in the state of Illinois. That means the city, that means the state, that means Metro, that means CTA. We have a reciprocal agreement with the city of Chicago. So again, if you're certified with them, you're good with us. But like saying, Cook County government certification is good throughout the state of Illinois. Now, if you're trying to do business outside the state of Illinois, I would suggest you contact one of their entities or their offices. One of the things we also are going to do, unless you are a professional service, we are going to do what you call a site visit. Right now, we are doing virtual site visits. We're going to go to your location for the most part, take a handful of pictures, And you're going to show us that you do what you say you can do and that you have the equipment to do what you say you can do. For example, if you are in the construction industry, you are a cement finisher, I'm going to go there and look for trials. Make sure you have maybe a mixer. Now, we understand with today's economy that we don't expect you to have everything because you can, if you're in construction industry, you can easily go to a Home Depot or Lowe's and get stuff for your day-to-day operation. But we are going to look for the basics. Uh, if you're in the trucking industry, we are going to look for some trucks. And we're going to look see if your name is on the firm's name is on the truck. And we're going to ask you some basic questions about your business, like when you started, how you started. Uh, do you have any other, are you working anywhere else? Those are some of the basic questions we're going to be asking for. Right now, we're doing virtual site visits, but by the first of the year, we're going to be getting back to in-person site visits, which is something that I've been advocating for us to get back to for a while now. Because yes, it's nice to talk to people on the phone or through the internet, but it's nothing like having that one-on-one with the person because he or she is usually more relaxed. We have a good conversation. You tell me about your business. You tell me about how you do your business, how long you've been doing it. It's just a better feel. So again, the first of the year, we're going to go back to in-person site visits. Again, we're not looking to get into your firm's business or just be super nosy. We just want to maintain the integrity of of our program, and that is the utmost importance to us. There is. We also your certification does not expire. The only way it expires if you do not turn in your no change affidavit. Once you become certified, and there is a fee, if you are a minority or a woman, there's a fee of $250. If you are a veteran or a person with disability, it is absolutely free. Again, there's a fee of $250 to be certified, and it's a one-time fee. After the first year of certification, you will turn in something called a no change affidavit. That's basically just like the title says, this is a no change. There hasn't been any changes in the ownership or control of your business. That you are still the majority owner, that you still run everything. And if there is a change, you are supposed to notify us immediately if there's a change after you become certified. But again, it is a $250 fee. It's a one-time fee. Now, let me just say about going back to CITES. Let me just say about an example of a CITES that went terribly wrong for that person. This young lady was trying to be certified in medical distribution. So I went to their office, met her. Her husband came, was at the door, greeted us and walked us around, which I didn't necessarily have a problem with that. We walked around, and she was just talking about some of the things they do. There was a shelving unit. I basically stopped and said, okay, now what are these products on this shelf? She said they're medical supplies. I said, no, ma'am. What are they? The products on this shelf. She said they're medical supplies. Then her husband whispered in her ear what the items were. The items were basically simply Band-Aids. And I could see that just by looking at the box, but she had no clue. Needless to say, we did not certify that firm, and that firm was barred from doing business with the county for several years. Again, we take this stuff very, very seriously. As we all know, we all read the paper. These programs are under attack. So we have to maintain, again, I've said this 100 times, the integrity of our program. I'm trying to go through my notes. I believe I covered practically everything I needed to go over. So, we are going to ask for several documentations from you. Again, if you are a sole proprietorship, you're going to need assumed name certificate. We're going to need 7 years of your personal tax returns. That's regardless if you're a sole proprietorship or a LLC, or if you are a corporation. We're also going to need proof of ethnicity. I failed to mention that. We realized that that's back in, I believe it was the late 70s, they start putting on what your ethnicity is on your birth certificate. So what we're going to be looking for is a copy of birth certificate and possibly a driver's license or your passport. That's going to tell us what we need to know if you are born in another country. One of the things that we will be looking for on the birth certificate with the origin of where the parents came from. It need to be in Mexico or Asia or India. That's one of the things we're going to be looking for on the birth certificates. So that's really about, let me make sure I covered everything, because I really don't like doing the slides because they kind of slow you down and you really just don't get the gist of everything. Again, 51% owned and operated and control has to be by the minority. You have to demonstrate us that you have the experience and the knowledge of that field at which you're trying to be certified in. Any training, any licenses, any certificates in that area. And you must be located in the marketplace of Cook County, DuPage, Kane, Will, Lake, or McHenry. Now, one of the things I did not talk about is the firm size control. That you go on the SBA website and you can take a peek and see, you put in your NASDAQ code and you'll see what the size control is. I believe $45 million over a 7-year average is for construction. So if you do over $45 million over 7 years, congratulations, but you're not eligible for our program. But congratulations, you're doing really well. We do have from time to time firms graduate out of our program where they start off small and they have graduated. They have exceeded the SBA size standard, and I had the pleasure of working with a few of them, and it is just a beautiful thing when you see a company first starting out, and they're just constantly growing and growing and growing, and they're just so successful now, where they basically doesn't necessarily need our program, and that's what we want everyone to be, to the point of where you can be the prime. You don't have to be the sub. On a contract. So that is just one of the wonderful things. One of the things I always tell people on these workshops is that we encourage everyone to register as a vendor with Cook County. Whatever you do, register as a vendor with the Department of Procurement. That way, if nothing more, you're getting the bid opportunities. I'm going to type in some information in the chat in a second. You'll be able to get the bid opportunities of what's out there. So I tell people from time to time, well, okay, the certification thing may not be for you. You might say, this stuff is too inquisitive. I just don't want to get certified. But I still want to do business with county. That is fine. But once you start getting those bids, and then you see that there's a 25 and 10 percentage that you have to honor on a county contract, you're going to turn around and get certified. So we encourage you to get certified with county, but if nothing else, please, please, please register as a vendor with the Cook County Department of Procurement. You would not be disappointed. You will get all the bids. You will see what's available in your commodity code. One of the things I also tell people all the time is that if you bid on a county contract, say you bid on it and you didn't get it. Okay, I know you're disappointed. You feel let down. You didn't get the contract. You should always, with any governmental entity, always, if you bid on something, if you don't get it, under the Freedom Information Act, you have the right to ask for a copy of the winning bid. Look at that bid. You can see where you went wrong, if you could have changed some numbers, uh, if you could have did something differently. So please, whatever you do, if you bid on a contract and you didn't get it, go on Freedom Information and get a copy of the winning bid. Because most government contracts are yearly contracts. So you may not have got the contract this year, but you can definitely be prepared for next year. It is absolutely free, and they have to provide information. I would strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you, don't wait to the last minute, because I don't know how many people is in the Department of Procurement that works on freedom FOIA requests. That's what they're called, FOIA requests. But do not wait to the 11th hour to ask for a copy of the winning bid. Always get it as soon as possible. So you can kind of match your numbers with the winning bid numbers, and you can kind of know whether or not this is something you should be bidding on. All right, let's see. I think I have covered practically everything I need to cover. I'm gonna go look at the chat and see if there are any questions in the chat. But one thing I want you to know, whether or not it be the city, the county, Metro, CTA, RTA, PACE, we work for you. And that's the bottom line. If you need us, you should be able to call upon us if you have questions or concerns. Now, we can't guide you. We can't, guide you to this or that, but we can give you information on where you should be looking at. So we work for you. I'm going to tell you my number is 312-603-7645. And again, I'm going to put it in the chat. My email address is eli.washington@cookcountyil.gov. Again, if you need something, please feel free to reach out. We are here for you. We work for you. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Typing. All right, let me see. Are there any questions? I'm also, one question, where can you find eligibility requirements? Go to Cook County dot diversity. So that you will find all the information about it, about our program, about the certification process. Cook County diversitycompliance.com. Everything is done online. There is no paper anymore. So you will go on there, register under the B2G system, where you pay the fees and do all that other wonderful stuff. So cookcounty.diversitycompliance.com. What are the most common issues applicants have? The most common issues, if it's applicants or do we have, not providing all the information that we require. Because again, we require a lot of information. And what slows down the process is when we don't get the information that we require. Like we really don't get the 7 years of tax returns. If we don't get the an updated resume, if we don't get, I'm sorry, and I failed to mention, if we don't get W-2s of all the owners of the company. That slows down the process. If we have to keep going back and forth with you, it can be time consuming. Right now, we can probably certify you in less than 2 months if we have all the necessary documents. There's a firm right now that the only thing they need to do is to is to send us some pictures of their business and us to do a site visit. And we're good to go. And that application was in less than about a month. But they turned in everything that we asked for. But again, we got to go going back, ask this, ask if we have a lot of questions, especially about things of ethnicity, then that's going to be time consuming. But sometimes people do have issues getting their tax returns. For 7 years. We understand that, but we do need to see it. Make sure when you turn in, make sure you turn in all 7 years. If you have an extension, you can turn that in, but we're still going to look for 7 years of your tax return because what we're looking for is conflict of interest. If there is something that's in your tax returns that's a red flag, that we see there's ownership in a company that might do the same thing, then that's going to be a major red flag with us. And we're going to inquire, we're going to investigate that. Even going back to the site visit, if you share a space with a company that does the exact same thing that you do and they're non-minority, that is a major red flag with us. I remember few years ago, I did a site visit with a company. It was in the construction industry. And when I got there, I noticed there was another company name on the door. And that company was actually inside of that company. He had a desk, a chair, and some other stuff. Now, mind you, he was perfectly able and capable of doing the work that he was trying to get certified in. But the fact that he shared space and he rented from this non-minority company, that was just a little bit too much of issue regarding control. So we were not able to certify this company at that time. He relocated, and once he relocated, then we were able to certify because that company that he was renting space from they did the exact same thing. I mean, yeah, they were friends and they were trying to help him out, which is nice, but for certification purposes, no. Let's see. Any other questions in the chat? What does a certification work for both lead contractors and subcontractors? I'm not sure what that means. Does a certification work? Oh, you can be a prime or you can be a sub. So if I'm asking you correctly, yeah, you can be a prime contractor and be certified and a subcontractor. The benefits for being, if you cannot be a prime on a contract is most county contracts, you are required 25 and 10, 25% minority participation and 10% women participation on county contracts. So they will be looking for minorities and women to meet the contract goal. Yes, it is important to be certified, and if you are a prime contractor as a minority, you will still have to sub it out to 10% to a women contractor. There is something called waivers, which our department frowns on considerably. That means that the prime contractor could not find a minority women contractor for that scope of work, which is very much frowned upon, and we are going to expect that prime contractor to do their due diligence. Does it work for service providers? Yes. Same thing. There was a major contract for transportation. I remember not too long ago. They still had to sub it out to some other smaller transportation companies, even professional services, IT, for example. That is probably some of the biggest contracts that's let out now, right now, other than construction. So yes, that has to be let out. There's still that requirement of minorities and women. Some professional service contracts, it might not be as high for some of the women area. It might be 5%. One of the things that, uh, and it's based upon the scope of service or the availability of contractors or subs. Uh, One of the biggest challenge Cook County government, the state of Illinois having, and the city of Chicago is trying to get veterans certified. We can't put veteran goals on our contract until we have a larger data pool. And that's unfortunate, but it's just a struggle trying to get veterans certified. But as far as service providers, yes, it is same goals. We want that percentage of minority women and veterans and people with disabilities on contracts. But again, one of the biggest challenges we're having right now is getting veterans certified. Why that is, none of us really quite understand, but that is one of the biggest challenges trying to get veterans to be certified. I hope I answered your question, Ms. Holmes. I see a graphic that says, does the certification expire? No, only way it expires if after the first year of being certified, and then you do a no change and you never turn in your no change application, then that's an issue. Then you will consider it expired. And again, a no change is simply what it is. We're going to ask you for a handful full of questions, basically your current tax returns, current licenses and things of that nature. It's only a handful of questions. Anyone else have any questions? So there is a feedback. I see that's posted in the link. So please fill it out because we always want to know how we did. We want to know if there's any things we could have done better. There are any questions? I'm sorry, I'm just kind of looking at some of the graphics that's being posted. Some of the how we could have done better next time. So again, we are here. Again, we work for you. So if you have any questions, any concerns, please if it's county related, feel free to give me a call or email me. I will say with all government agencies, a lot of us, we work from home at least a couple days during the week. So you might be patient. It will might be a day or two before we get back to you, but we will get back to you. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, or you want to know who to talk to in county government about this or that, feel free just to give me a call or send me an email. So if there's no other further questions, Robert, is that it? Are we good to go?
Yeah, I just want to give a huge thanks to Mr. Washington for your support on the session and sharing your information, and also generously sharing your contact information for folks to follow up afterwards. I'm really appreciative of this, thankful for our translators. We'll have Spanish translation available on the YouTube. Once we put up the recording within a couple of weeks. Thanks to Ashton, we'll share her graphic notes, which I think captured a lot of the highlights and key points that Mr. Washington got, kind of simplifying all the complexity of this to make it a little more easy to translate. So excited for the next couple of days. So we've got 23 sessions as well throughout the 2 days for for providing support for folks to be able to scale up and get into opportunities like public procurement through Cook County. And really excited to hear about all the supports and partnerships that the county does provide to make sure folks can get through the door, recognizing also that protecting the sanctity of the program is really vital. So that's why there is all that requirements to make sure the programs and opportunities aren't shut down in the future. But really seeing this as a powerful opportunity for women-owned, minority-owned businesses to have an opportunity to get into the supply chain for the county, and obviously for all the other entities that you guys um, collaborate with, so the certifications cross over, so you don't have to get certified everywhere, all the time.
Yeah, like I said, we own Cook County Hospital, Providence Hospital. Um, uh, we own the Daily Center. We own 69 West, the county building. So if you name it, we buy it. There's not too many things that we don't buy or we don't obtain. So it's a good opportunity for you and your membership. We encourage people to, go and get certified as a vendor, if nothing more, again. So you at least get the bidding opportunities. And once you get bidding opportunities, you're going to turn around and get certified. So again, I'm here for you if you need any help, any support.